Hey there, I'm back again. I'm going to talk about the ACT English portion, and you should be taking notes as I'm talking. Pause the video if you need to write stuff down. You should write down at least 10 facts about the ACT English. You can write down whatever you want, tips, strategies you're going to use. I just need some of that, so we're going to talk about the ACT English. So, first thing you want to keep in mind is going to be a lot of reading passages, excuse me. You want to ask yourself, is the subject of the passage interesting to you or something you know about? If the answer is yes, you should probably read the passage carefully and critically before you read the questions. If the answer is no, you might want to read the questions before you read the passage to get a sense of what to look for. Try both methods when you practice at this website, number2.com, to find out the most helpful way for you. The bottom line, to save as much time as possible, whatever you do, don't even think of answering a question before reading the passage from start to finish. So always read the passage and know what you're reading and understand it before you answer anything. Okay, so for this test, your goal and your only goal is to answer questions correctly. Not just answer them, but correctly. The sooner you start to answer questions, the sooner you start to earn points. It'll be useless if you have thoroughly read a passage but have no time answering the questions. All the tips concerning this section are to teach you how to make the most of your time. Okay, so the first tip I'm going to talk about is do the easy passages first. If the subject of the passage interests you or is something you well know about, do it first, even if it's last on the test. If you've always experienced success with natural science passages and you have trouble with fiction, go first to the natural science passage, even if it's the last on the test. You should always lead with your strength. So always do what you're good at first. That way, you shave off time. You save time like that because you get, out of the way things that are difficult for you. Okay, so number 2, concentrate on paragraph opening and closing. This is really important because these are going to teach you what you're going to find in the paragraphs. What the paragraphs are going to be about, because we talk about this English class, you get topic sentence and closing sentence. So since ACT passages are generally written in standard English prose, the topic sentence is often located near the beginning of the paragraph. Usually it's the first sentence in the paragraph. Sometimes too, the final sentence of the paragraph suggests the main point of the paragraph. When reading quickly for the gist of a passage, focus on paragraph openings and closings. So this is huge. You might want to write this down as one of your notes. Skip the material in between until you need the details to answer certain questions. Okay, tip 3. Answer general questions before detailed questions. General questions usually ask you to identify the author's point of view or the main idea of the passage. A reader with good understanding of the passage can often answer general questions without rereading a word. On the contrary, when you're asked for a specific fact or for a word or phrase, you may have to return to the passage to find the answer. That takes time. It makes sense to get the easier questions out of the way before tackling the more time-consuming ones. So going back to tip 1, we mentioned that earlier, always try to stick with the easier ones first. Okay? Hold on, I'm having trouble here, I don't know. Okay. Tip 4. All the answers come from the passage. Keep that in mind too. That's really important. Every single answer can be found in or directly inferred from the passage. Now, when we talk about inferred, that means you're kind of making an assumption. The answer might not necessarily be right there. It might not jump out at you, but it might be there. Don't add things or make up things. Throw away your prior knowledge about the subject. So just focus on what the passage says and answer those questions to the best of your ability. Okay, number 5. Mark the passages or make short ones. Mark important sections or words in the sentences. This can help you find needed information quickly. But remember, don't overdo it. It'll be a waste of time and helpless marking too many sentences. Okay, number 6. An answer choice can be true, but can be wrong. The correct choice is the one that best answers the question, not any choice that makes a true statement. A choice may express something that is perfectly true and still be the wrong choice. So once again, going back to the passage, you want to focus on what the passage is saying. You don't want to just assume things from your prior experience. You want to read the passage, understand the passage, and you want to answer the question like you're the author who wrote the passage. You want to know what you're trying to say. Okay, eliminating choices. This is a good thing. I'm sure we've all watched Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, 50-50. What you want to do is compare each choice to the passage and find out definitely wrong choices. Then choose the correct answer from the remaining choices. Because if you eliminate 2 right off the bat, this doesn't make any sense. You're giving yourself a 50-50 chance of getting the correct answer. So always eliminate, just like they do on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, 50-50. Okay, number 8 is really important too. Pace yourself. Jump around within a set of questions to find the ones that you can answer quickly, but don't jump from a passage to passage. So you jump around, you're going to get all jumbled and confused and everything else, and we don't want that to happen. Don't leave a passage until you are sure you have answered all the questions you can. If you return to the passage later, you'll probably have reread it, or have to reread it. So don't do that. Try to answer all the questions before moving on to the next one. And like I said, start with the easier ones first. Okay, so this next one. A response is better than nothing. Finally, remember that the ACT doesn't punish wrong answers, so don't leave anything blank or you'll waste your points. Do not leave anything blank. And it's underlined and in bold because, like I said in another video, if you leave anything blank, you're losing out on points. It's better just to guess and fill in a random bubble than to just not fill it in at all and leave it blank. So always just fill in a random answer. Don't leave it blank. At least you'll have a 25% chance of getting it right. I mean, that's a good way to look at it because there are 4 choices typically, sometimes 5 with each question. So at least you're giving yourself 20% chance or 25% chance of getting it right. And you get points even if it's not right. So just fill in something. I can't emphasize that enough. I know I sound like a broken record, but that's what you got to do to be successful on that test. Okay, that's it. Thank you.